Hello guys, so this video is about how to achieve a flawless skin using facial spatula or makeup spatula. This is a Korean foundation or base makeup trick, and here you can see none of the makeup actually smudges around, and it's just sweat or oil that peeps through. That's natural to happen. Here I start out with my eyebrow, and here I always prefer to do eyebrow beforehand is because there is no product underneath the skin and it's just done on the bare skin. So the eyebrow product sits well on the skin than sitting on top of a foundation or concealer, and it's just a natural eyebrow shape that I follow in every video, and like filling in the sparse area. And here in this video the major focus is on the skin, and for the skin I have just applied a toner and a sunscreen and lip balm. I applied mascara and with the BB cream and the facial spatula. On the corners of it I take a bit of the product and swipe it across my cheek and work it along the hairline from my middle of the face towards the hairline, because that is how it will be more natural. And I follow through with the facial the way the facial hair follow through in that direction. And here you would notice that it is not like going on with multiple layers, and it's just one layer which has a even distribution of the foundation. And yeah, this was actually the very first time that I have applied a foundation with the help of a spatula, so the result is genuine and the technique is genuine, and I had no mastery whatsoever about it. But I now have used the spatula I think more than 3 or 4 times, and I would say that it will definitely give a very natural and glass skin like effect. And I would not think of doing my base makeup without this, because it gets the most even coat or the most what to say, high coverage kind of a look without it looking cakey, because the spatula helps the products to go on an even layer than multiple layers. And had you not used this kind of a spatula for a base makeup, you would end up using a lot more product. And I have noticed with this, you're using the same product but in a more even fashion, hence you don't use a lot more pump of it. And it's a bit of a trick when it's near the nose or crevices or area which is curved rather than the cheekbones or the jawline, but it can be blended with the brush. And here with spatula it isn't about blending, but it's just making sure that the product is evenly distributed. And I tried to try my level best around the mouth area. It was a bit tricky, but I found the forehead and the cheekbones and jawline were easier, and the upper lip area were the easiest facial places, I would say, like areas to cover with spatula. But it's fine. I used a brush later on with a powder on it, with the loose powder on it, which helped with blending. And here I'm applying it near the middle of my eyebrow and then on my nose would also be a tricky area, but it's okay because with spatula being used for base makeup, the major concern is to hide the blemishes or pimples or textured skin. Actually, the spatula technique of applying foundation or BB cream is best for people who have textured skin, as the places which has a crevice or sort of like a cave in sort of texture would require not lot more of a foundation with this. And with the concealer you can focus more on the area that need a bit more coverage. And and this is actually a technique that is widely used by makeup artists for K-pop idols or for K-drama. And even if the patient, or if I mean not patient, if their client has a textured skin or acne prone skin, this works really well for them. And here I'm using a technique that is usually used by models, that is to look up on a mirror and then the shadowy parts around the eyes can be detected with it, and that way you photograph really well. So I've applied the concealer underneath the eye on the areas which had the most amount of shadow when I look up on the mirror, and rest of the area are just the high point of my face, and I blend it all in with a brush. And this kind of a technique actually prevents you to use a lot more concealer than you would have, and it's just a lot more intentional in certain ways, because the application of concealer is done only on specific area. And here I could have applied one more layer of BB cream to hide the blemish if I wanted to, but I chose not to, and I just went along with this kind of a sheer to medium coverage kind of a base makeup. But if needed be, I think I could have done even a second base and it wouldn't have been a problem. It seems like a really good idea to use on events which require you to wear a makeup for a longer time. And after I had done this makeup and I had gone out, I still didn't produce a lot of oil and sweat. And I'm a person who actually gets more oilier than sweaty on the face. So I guess the powdering method, along with the very even layer of this foundation, helps to not sweat or produce a lot more oil in humid climate as well. So I just chose a really dense packed brush, and which had powder already on it, and just made sure that every single area is covered and blended with the help of powder. So as I'm blending it, I'm locking in the base makeup with powder, loose powder that I always use. Loose powder is a good idea and a good product to use in summers especially, or if you happen to have oily to acne prone skin type, or even if you produce the oil just on the T-zone or near the pores, it's quite good. And here you can see the base how it already looks, and I choose to have a peach and pink blush for this one because I just want a very natural flushed kind of a look. And I usually apply it on my higher cheekbones and just around the eyes as much as I can. I just prefer having these two blushes a lot more than any other color because it's easier and it blends well with the skin. But if you're of a deeper complexion, to achieve the same look of pink, baby pink blush on a fair skin, you can use a purple color blush or something that is of a deeper red shade. Here I'm using a pink lipstick, which is quite affordable. I think it's 99 rupees or below 200, and a brown lip liner just to outline the natural pink, but it's not too heavily overlined, it's just following through with the natural lip line. And I press my lips to make sure that the lipsticks is blended together, because there is the use of a lip liner and a lipstick, and later on I would use a liquid lipstick. I like mixing textures of different lipsticks, as I had mentioned in my previous video. And after I mix both of those together, I think I felt the need to add in more of pinks and red, and I always go back and forth with lips. And after I'm done with that, I use a brown eyeliner and just line my lash line, and not too much focus on making a strict thicker line or a straight line, just to have a eyeliner around the lash line. The For this kind of a makeup, the major focus is on the face, so the lips and eyes are not too dramatic. And here I use a smudger to just make it a lot more softer to look, I mean softer look, or a more blended look, because when there is just lines on the eyeliner or near the eye area, it might look a bit more harsh or angular. And I just apply the liquid liner near the lash line and not disrupt the whole smudged out effect that I had created. And I check back and forth if the liner is fine or even on both the eyes, and fill in wherever needed. And I apply a kohl on the not on the waterline but near the lower lash line, and smudge it all out with the smudger of that previously used pencil. And I might have smudged a bit too much to my liking, so later on I fixed it all with concealer. I wantedly left out this part where I felt like I need to fix it up because I thought it would be a teaching moment. Like, if you feel that the kajal or eyeshadow or whatever pencil you have used and smudged around is a bit too much for your liking, you can always use a bit of a concealer and correct around the areas where you want a bit more of a light and not much of shadows, because it can droop out your eyes or make your under eye look more emphasized. And I drag out the concealer towards the end and try to fix of the smudged look. And to cover it all up, I used a shimmery eyeshadow to blend in with the look of the face being more glowy and more glass skin like effect. And I apply the shimmer eyeshadow just near the inner corner and near the beginning of the lower lash line. And this helped take away a bit of the shadow near the bottom part, and here you can see the base looks really well done. I hope you can recreate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching.